Today we're going to be recreating Pep's 4-2-3-1. All I've been seeing is Josh updated Pep tactics. We need them, and I'm going to be bringing them to you. So hopefully, by the time this video drops, Manchester City have won the league. They've beaten Arsenal, as per. They always seem to get it done. If you do enjoy Pep tactics and any tactics on this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If this video gets to 100 likes, I'll make one final Pep Man City collection, all in one video of every single tactic he has used this season. Let's get into the testing. So firstly, with Man City, we're going to get the job done over in the Premier League. Absolutely dominating, only losing one game, which is going to be against Liverpool in the away fixture, which is reasonable in my opinion. Erling Haaland, 49 goals in the league, highest average rating with Rodri close behind in second, Phil Foden the top assister, and Bernardo Silva down in third place, with Ederson picking up the most clean sheets. Now stat-wise, we are going to be looking at most points per game at 2.61, most goals at 117, the most shots at over 720, the fewest shots against at 189, the pass completion the best out of anybody with 91% of the ball, the most possession with 65% of that, which is really good for that Premier League indeed. The most clean sheets were going to be second place, and a fewest conceded also coming in that second place as well. Now data hub wise across all competitions, we are going to be looking at over 3 goals a game at 3.08, only 0.71 conceded, bang on 19 shots a game and 91.3% pass completion, so above that 91% we saw in the previous set of stats, and the 78% tackle win ratio. That is incredible. This is why you should get all 3 variants, because we get into the Champions League final and I was playing it myself and I did go 1-0 down, but I switched to the attacking variant, which I'm going to show you later on in the video, and we come back, we equalise in the 82nd minute with a great bit of play there from the right back into the central area, and we go on to win it in extra time. Great link-up play, Doku on the ball into Grealish, we'll take it. Erling Haaland had a massive part to play in this FA Cup final against Liverpool, as he is going to bag a hat-trick with the first goal going in inside of 17 minutes played, and unfortunately for us, Liverpool do find a way back not so long after. About 20 minutes after, I thought Ake could have prevented that one from going in, but it doesn't matter. We go again, a great ball from De Bruyne there through to Erling Haaland, who levers it past Alisson Becker into the top left-hand corner, and unfortunately for Liverpool, they slipped off from a set piece, and Haaland bags his hat-trick. We also are going to beat Liverpool again in the cup final. That is going to be in the Carabao Cup, with Erling Haaland again being an absolute nightmare for them to defend against, and it might be him again with De Bruyne linking up the play over the top through to Haaland, who hits it on the half volley, by the way, into the top right-hand corner. Again, beautiful play, bringing it over from the left right into the midfield, and Haaland is simply too good. As you can see, we won even more than what I've shown you. The Premier League, the Champions League, the Super Cup we're going to win as well against Sevilla in 2-0 fashion, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Community Shield. We also are going to win that, and by the way, that was a bit closer. It was on penalties, but as you can see from the fixtures, we had an incredible run, and we really did. Went on a mad win spree, a ridiculous win spree, or undefeated spree, where Liverpool eventually handed us our only loss of the season, and I don't know how the Club World Cup sort of fit in there. We actually won that as well in 3-0 fashion, so we literally done the perfect 7-for-7 sweep. What a season. As I like to do, we also do go and test with obviously a couple more teams Pep has managed, Barcelona being one of them, where we lift the Spanish Cup against Real Sociedad in 2-1 fashion. Also the Spanish Super Cup we are going to win in 4-3 fashion over Real Madrid in extra time, and we lift the Spanish title. We couldn't win the Champions League, obviously we played ourselves, managing Manchester City. We come out and it was very close with Real Madrid. I will be honest, as you can see here, there's only a 5-point difference, but Lewandowski outscoring everyone. Rafinha, the best rating. Rafinha, the second most assists, with ter Stegen picking up their most clean sheets, and again, very convincing, fewest conceded, most clean sheets, the most possession, the fewest shots against, the most shots for, the most goals, and the most points per game. And it is just a real good sort of, did I say the most goals then? If I did, my mistake, the second most amount of goals, but what I'm trying to show here is the possession. We are really, really good on the ball, and we are not afraid to show it, and the data hub is going to back that up as well, as we are going to be looking at a bang on 2 amount of goals per game, so not as many as Manchester City. Obviously we haven't probably got as good of an attack, but we're scoring way more than we are going to be conceding. We've got such a control on the game. You don't need to go out and, you know, score 5-6 a game, because you're in control every single moment of that game. That is a really good season. Lastly, another team obviously Pep did manage, that is going to be Bayern Munich. Again, the Champions League we won't pay too attention to. Runners up in the Pokal, a little bit disappointing, a 1-0 loss against probably the strongest team in the Bundesliga at the moment, that is going to be Bayer Leverkusen. We win the Super Cup though over RB Leipzig in 4-1 fashion, an absolute stuffing happen there, and we win the Bundesliga and actually went completely invincible, winning 29 and drawing 5 and losing 0 games. A remarkable season. Harry Kane finally winning a trophy, 27 goals, first, second and third in the average rating, and first and joint second when it comes to the assists, while Manuel Neuer, despite in real life having a bit of an iffy sort of last game in that Champions League, he picks up the most clean sheets. And again, we're going to see that possession coming in, 66% possession, most dribbles made, the fewest conceded, the most clean sheets on this occasion, the most goals quite convincingly over RB Leipzig, and also, of course, the most points per game. But going over to that data hub, we are going to be seeing 2.59 goals a game, 0.41 conceded, over 15.3 shots a match, 92% pass completion, which is outstanding stuff. It really is, and a great tackle win ratio as well. So we are so confident on the ball. It's not the most out there when it comes to 4 or 5 goals a game, but you don't need it because you dominate possession every single match. Over to your favourite part of the video, the tactic breakdown. We're going to talk about it a lot more in depth today because it is a really big tactic this year. If you do enjoy the tactics, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get all 3 of the tactics today, I would recommend it. You can come over to the Patreon, where also you can get the mobile and the console tactic. You get them early, you get the rebuild files, you get the rebuild requests, you get priority in those and the tactic requests, access to the giveaways, and so much more. Come over and join the near to 4,000 people. It's kicking off. It's a great community, a big group chat. We're all in. Come over and get involved. The link is going to be in the description. But starting off with the tactical style, pretty obvious. We are going to back the tiki-taka tactical style, just to clarify that. And we are, of course, going to be factoring today his 4-2-3-1. That is the focus point of today's video. So time to talk through the team, then we're going to go through every single position. And the first one is actually going to be already set. That is going to be the sweeper keeper, who is going to be on attack. Again, it really represents Ederson well. He does come out, he gets stuck into the game. That is what you need to have. For the right back, I have actually gone with a fullback who is going to be set to support with a few instructions on. He is simply going to be told to take fewer risks, he's going to be told to shoot less often, and he's also going to be crossing from the byline. Now, usually this would be a Kyle Walker getting involved a lot more. He's not been as at it this season, so I've made him a little bit more restricted. Next to him, we are going to go with that ball playing defender, but we are also going to have him on close down less, just so he's not as aggressive when it comes to the pressing. Of course, it is Man City. We have to get a libero into that mix. He is going to be set to the supportive duty, on dribble less, shoot less often, and to take fewer risks. Sorry, don't know what I just said there. So it is going to be a very risk-free libero, but we needed one in the team to represent the style. On the left back, the Guardio of the team is actually going to be set to that inverted fullback on defend with some instructions. He is also going to be told to dribble less, shoot less often, and take fewer risks. It's a very risk-free backline, apart from the ball-playing defender who might push up occasionally, but realistically, it's very sensible on the ball and no mistakes. The left side of midfield in the deeper area, we are going to introduce a halfback. Of course, that is going to be on defend, and he is going to have some instructions. He is going to have take fewer risks. When it comes to the trigger press, we are going to tell him to actually really get stuck in. So how you do that is to click this here. I've seen a ton of comments in my videos. This is how I do that. And of course, we are also going to have him on tackle harder, get a challenge in. So as you can see there, he is really going to be stuck into the game. Next to him, of course, it is going to be a Roman playmaker. He is going to be set to support, and he has got a few instructions. He's actually quite attacking, so we've got a bit of balance in the midfield. He's going to be set to dribble more. He's going to be moving into the channels, and he's also going to be told to shoot less often, because I do want him getting stuck into the game, getting further forwards, moving into the channels, etc., etc., but I do not want him having shots at the goal. On the left, it is going to be set to that winger on attack. This is, of course, going to be the Jack Grealish of the team. He is going to have a couple of instructions. That is going to be aim, cross, aim, centre. And also, personally, I see him do this a lot. And Doku, he is going to cut inside with the ball as well. So to clarify, the winger on attack on cross, aim, centre, and cut inside with the ball. In the midfield, we're not going to go with the attacker midfield player. We are going to have a shadow striker with one additional instruction, and that is going to be roam from position. We know we see this in Pep's teams a lot. Lots of, fluidity, if that's even a word, where you sort of see players cutting inside, roaming about, getting in different areas. That's exactly what we want him to be doing. And on the right, we are actually going to stick with this inverted winger with a few instructions. Cross, aim, centre again. It is all about feeding Erling Haaland, get further forwards, and of course, roaming from position, because we want to see players interchanging, covering each other's positions, really getting involved. That's the Man City way. And to finish it off, the cherry on top, that is going to be what this team is feeding. That is going to be Erling Haaland as a poacher, on attack, on shoot more often. Do not be afraid to let him have shots at the goal, or your striker in your case. If he can shoot, of course, hopefully he can be a striker. You want to feed him to the best of your ability. So again, the tiki-taka on the positive, of course, we are going to go down to fairly narrow. They've actually played quite narrow in their system. We're going to look to overlap right, get Kyle Walker involved, focus through the middle while playing out from the back. back. This is going to be set to shorter. We're going to leave this in the middle set to standard with be more expressive, dribble less, work ball into the box, and the low crosses. Now this is really good because you're going to be playing very attacking football, but it's going to be very short passing, not as sort of individual runs, real team effort, quick passing, which is why we've got them real high levels of possession. Transition, not too much to talk about. It is going to be set to counter press and take short goal kicks. You do not want to restrict Edison. Sometimes he goes a little bit longer, sometimes he keeps it simple. Lastly, out of possession, a very important part of this tactic, it is going to be set to the much higher defensive line. We're going to set a pressing trap to the trap outside, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and more often. Let's get into the attacking variant. You're going to need it. The attacking variant is going to be the same shape, but we are going to make it a bit more attacking. It says what it does on the tin, so the goalkeeper is going to be the same. The fullback on the right is going to be set to take fewer risks, cross from the byline, and shoot less often. The inverted wingback on the left obviously changes from the fullback to the wingback, who simply is going to be told to be on support and has his default instructions. The libero is going to remain exactly the same, and the ball-playing defender is going to have one additional instruction, which is going to be to dribble more, to get a bit more involved in the team. Of course, we need that now. We are trying to be more attacking. The Roman playmaker on the left is going to come in on close down more and tackle harder. The halfback does get scrapped as we look to attack a little bit more, and we're going to bring in a Valente on attack, on take more risks and dribble more. The winger on the left is now going to have one more instruction. Apart from cross aim centre and cut inside, I now want him to have shots at the goal if he can do so. Grealish and Doku can. Make sure your wingers have got decent finishing. If they haven't, don't have the instruction on. On the right, we're going to go with exactly the same. He's going to be inverted winger on attack, cross aim centre, roam from position, and mark the specific position. I always have a nightmare when I say that, and that is going to be the DL, just to clarify that. And in the midfield, the shadow striker is going to remain the same, as does the poacher, to the team instructions. So again, tiki-taka on the positive mentality. We are still going to go down to fairly narrow. This time we're going to underlap left, we're going to overlap right, focus through the middle, playing out from the back. We're going to max out the tempo. This is still going to remain on shorter, as is dribble less. We of course are still going to be more expressive. We're going to work the ball into the box because that is the one thing in Pep's team. He wants to create high quality chances, and having that on really does achieve that. Transition, one more change. We're still going to have counter press on, and we are going to have short goal kicks, but we're trying to chase the game down. We need to have this on. We've got to distribute quickly. And lastly, out of possession, we are of course going to maintain that much higher line with the high press and line of engagement. We're going to keep the pressing trap. We're going to get stuck in. We're going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and on this occasion, we're going to max out the trigger press. Now to defend those games out, and we've gone down a much more possession-based tactic, and I will say, you can go into games like this, but you will not score as many goals. You will have a load more possession, so I'd probably recommend this actually, maybe with a bit of an underdog team, where you want to really go into your games, control them, get a feel for the ball. This could be what you could do, or if you are trying to seal out a game. So the goalkeeper remains the same, the fullback on the right remains exactly the same as the default, so does the inverted fullback. He comes back in exactly the same as what he was in the first tactic we talked through. Two ball-playing defenders come in who are both going to now be set to the default. No libero, nice and simple. The halfback is going to come in on defend, on tackle harder, close down, and take fewer risks, and a DM comes in for the first time on support, on tackle harder. A supportive winger on the left is simply going to be on pass it shorter. An inverted winger on the right is going to be on support, simply on sit narrower and pass it shorter. We scrap the shadow striker and introduce an attacker midfield player, on support, on pass it shorter, shoot less often, roam from position, and move into the channels. And we scrap the poacher for the first time and bring in a deep line forward to sit a little bit deeper, closer to the team. And these four players here, linked with them two in midfield, is going to be almost impossible to get the ball from. The possession stat is crazy. Tiki-taka, but this time all the way down to balance. We still, of course, are going to go fairly narrow. We're going to focus play through the middle while playing out from the back. We're going to go with shorter, and on this occasion, a slightly lower tempo. No real urgency, no real speed to the game required. Dribble less to really hold on to the ball well. We're still going to work the ball into the box because we want to basically have that perfect chance. And of course, we're going to go with the low crosses. So with this tactic, again, you are not going to score as many goals. You are going to have a lot more of the ball, and when you have it, you're not really going to lose it because there's not going to be a really high tempo being played. You're going to be very sensible with your passes. You're not going to be dribbling. You know, you're not just going to have players running at players recklessly. You're going to keep hold of the ball, and you don't even really need to have time wasting if you are using it to defend a game out because you're not going to lose the ball. In transition, we're going to have a little bit of a change now. So we are going to counter press. We're going to play to anyone across the back line with no distribution type preference, but we are going to hold the shape. Again, no real need to go and directly hit on the counter, and it'd be nice to hold the shape, get the team a bit more compact. And lastly, we are going to rock with that higher defensive line, not the much higher, the higher defensive line with the high pressure line of engagement, standard, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. But that's going to complete for you boys and girls a defensive tactic, an attacking tactic, and the one you should take into your games. Again, you can get all 3 of these in one simple download, and it shows support to the channel. It helps me carry on making these sorts of videos. You can join that Patreon in the description below. If not, you can copy it click for click as provided in today's video. But if you're on mobile or on console, I will say they are exclusively over on there, because I simply have to play on 2 other platforms to provide them on this channel. But hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.